2024 NFL Draft coverage on Keon Sports is brought to you by JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL was founded by the Lewis family of Kent, Ohio in 2005 to provide residents with a reliable, professional, and high-quality level of service. Fast forward to today, JBL Roofing and Construction has become one of Northeast Ohio's most trusted roofing and siding companies, performing the highest quality work on over 3,000 roofs and projects. Mickey Mart, the moose is on the loose. Your local Mickey Mart is open now for all the food and fuel you need to keep every big game party going. Mickey Mart is proud to team up with Keon Sports to bring you all the finest moments in local sports information and entertainment. Visit www.mickeythemoose.com to find a store near you. Gotcha Covered Avon. Their team of experienced design consultants are experts in helping you find the right window treatments for your home or business. Swing by their showroom at 2525 Nagel Road in Avon to see for yourself how they can make your entire living room or any room look better with a few small suggestions and low cost. You can also find them online at gotchacovered.com/Avon. Lally's Handyman Service. From deck and fence building to indoor and outdoor remodeling, Lally's Handyman Service has you covered. Matt and his crew is well known around Keon Sports for doing a multitude of services and have hit a home run every single time. Repair, replace, and remodel with Lally's Handyman Service. Give them a call at 216-789-2047. Lou Grosso Accounting and Tax Services. Your taxes and accounting needs must be handled by the very best so you can rest easy. You can have that comfort of knowing your money is being handled by the experts with Lou Grosso Accounting and Tax Service. They prepare individual, corporate, nonprofit, and small business tax returns. They also specialize in investment accounting and managing clients' QuickBooks with over $275 million in assets accounted for. Located in Avon, they prepare your federal, state, and city return, which includes e-file and direct deposit. Please visit their website, www.lougrossotax.com, for more information. And Every Step Senior. Every Step Seniors is a full-service relocation service helping seniors to downsize and move. They handle every step of the way, including packing, moving, setup, home cleanouts, donations, and home sale prep services. Make sure you check out Every Step Seniors today. Hard to believe we are down to the final two episodes here of the 2024 NFL Draft Prospect Rankings here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel. And defensive line, going to wrap everything up. And we're going to talk tackles here today and then conclude everything with the edge rushers tomorrow. Again, if you haven't hit that subscribe channel yet, how have you not yet? I mean, we are 9 prospect rankings down on the 10th one here at this point. Make sure you please do us a favor here and hit that subscribe button. For myself, Cole McDaniel, I want to thank everybody who's tuned in, watched, and listened through all of these prospect rankings to this point. Excited to talk about this defensive tackle group, and I think there's a lot of talent in this defensive tackle group in totality, but I'm excited to talk about these 3 guys here today. So let's dive in and let's get this thing started. At number 3, Rook Orohoro of Clemson. He could be utilized at D-tackle in either a 4-3 base defense or a 3-4 base defense. Has a really tall frame with adequate length, great strength, and a powerful lower body. Gets good leverage on most plays, which allows him to occupy double teams and not get displaced. Orohoro has heavy hands with powerful strikes, and his balance also allows him to rarely fall, which is a benefit there as he's trying to hold up that defensive tackle spot in the middle. His motor's pretty solid. He does exceptionally well at finding the ball carrier quickly due to his natural instincts. Orohoro does struggle a little bit with cut blocks because of his height, and his arm length is surprisingly average despite the great size that he has. He has some inconsistencies and looks a bit raw at times out there on the field, but ultimately if he can get polished up, he is the makings of shining in this league because of that explosiveness and the size that he has. I really like his film, as you can see from these highlights here right now. My player comparisons for him, Zach Pickens. I think he has the athleticism of Pickens, but also still stout enough there in the middle. Also Sebastian Joseph Day, a guy who spent a lot of time in 3-4 base defenses. I think Orohiro at least matches the ability to play in that type of a scheme as well. He probably is more explosive than both of those guys, though, and I actually think has a higher ceiling than both. Should be a 2nd to 3rd round draft pick. And my best fits for him, the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland, they've already been adding to their defensive line. They brought back Shelby Harris, brought back Maurice Hurst, also bringing in Quentin Jefferson. So they're looking to add to that defensive tackle spot or retain the talent that they've had, but I do think they probably want another powerful, explosive defensive tackle, and Cleveland, they'll come on the board in the 2nd round, don't have a 1st round pick, and Orohiro, if he's sitting there, might be worth a selection for him, might be worth a selection for them because of that size and that explosiveness that he has. Minnesota would be another good fit there. They need to add to their defensive front, I think get stronger, especially in that interior. He would add to what they have. The Los Angeles Chargers kept Bosa, kept Mack on the outside, but now they could get stronger in the middle with Orohiro. And then my wild card is the New York Jets. The New York Jets have some good defensive tackles already, but why not add to that defensive front? They may pull the trigger and make a move like this with an already strong defense and trying to get stronger as they compete against the Bills and the Dolphins specifically there in the AFC East. At number 2, T'Vondre Sweat of Texas. Sweat is a true nose tackle in either a 3-4 or a 4-3 scheme. Nonetheless, he's a really big, heavy frame, which helps him get leverage and anchor. He's pretty good at keeping his eyes in the backfield and pushing the pocket on the bull rush. His upper body is strong and he moves well for his size. Any team that needs a run stuffer, somebody that can fill gaps, they should entertain the idea of Sweat on night 1. Might be a bit raw with his ability and his inconsistent hand usage. His lateral movement is extremely limited because of that massive size he has, and he's really just a straight line mover. But that being said, he is your true prototypical type of nose tackle who, like I said, takes up a ton of space and keeps the linebackers clean. Best player comparisons for him is Vita Vea and Christian Barmore, both large nose tackles, guys who can take space. They don't really move much laterally, but they can push the pocket. Should be a 1st round pick, might slip down to the 2nd round, so somewhere between those 2 first rounds. Best fits for him, Seattle. They have some speed with Draymond Jones and some other guys on that line, but adding that run stuffing ability of Sweat could be crucial. The New York Giants, Dexter Lawrence is there, but if you want to put Dexter Lawrence and Sweat together, well, that is a massive defensive front. Denver, they could use some help there. Run out of that 3-4 scheme. You could play nose tackle for them and would actually really help what they have. Actually, don't really have superstars on that defensive front, but they do have guys who have speed around the edge. I think they lack a little bit of size, and that would help them. And my wild card is Houston. Houston brought in Danielle Hunter, the edge rusher from Minnesota. They have Will Anderson Jr. still there, who is the defensive rookie of the year. And if you can put a big body like Sweat in the middle to help eat up that run game, that really helps a great defense under DeMeco Ryans. At number 1, Jer'Zhan Newton of Illinois. Newton can play at numerous positions. In a 4-3 scheme, he could be a defensive tackle, or in a 3-4 base defense, defensive tackle or defensive end. He is effective in multiple fronts, plays with high energy and gets natural leverage. His rapid burst off the snap makes him super explosive, and he doesn't really quit on any play. His hands are already fairly refined. He's an intense drive and diagnosis, and reacts to plays quickly. I like his chase speed and his athleticism that really separates him from the vast majority of this class. He's a bit weaker against power run schemes, partially due to his shorter arm length, which can result in the offensive lineman potentially being able to steer him because they get to his chest. And his hand strikes could use some more control at times, and he does tend to over-anticipate, which can lead to some errors. But he has much more athleticism than a lot of the guys in this defensive tackle group, so that's, of course, something that will intrigue many scouts, coaches, defensive coaches specifically, would love to have that type of a talent on their roster this coming year. My player comparisons for him: Jonathan Allen, maybe not as stout against the run, but still has that athleticism, and Javon Hargrave, a guy who can get in the backfield, and that defensive tackle can rush the passer. Newton, of course, can do that as well. He should be a first-round pick, maybe at the latest going to be an early second-round pick. Is not going to make it very far past the first round if he actually does. Best fits for him: Cincinnati. They could add that pass rushing ability there of Newton in the middle, and that's only going to help out their defensive line. Baltimore in their 3-4 scheme, I think they'd love to put him either at D end or D tackle. He's certainly not going to be a nose tackle by any means, but they have Pierce and some other big players there in the middle who can clog the lanes and let Newton go to work and try to get after the passer, or maybe try to disrupt the run in the backfield. Indianapolis would be a good fit for him. Indy, they still have DeForest Buckner. If you can add Newton, he's going to add another threat there in the middle. And my wild card is Kansas City, especially as Chris Jones is getting older, still such a productive player. But I think if he can learn from Chris Jones, Newton would do well in Kansas City, helping out that defense that statistically pretty average. But when they need a win, they always step up and make plays. So, defensive tackles. Fun one to talk about. That does it for this one. And we move to the final position group tomorrow, the edge rushers. So make sure you stay tuned. Come right back here tomorrow. That video is going to drop. Make sure you pay attention to all these articles on KeonSports.com as well. And I look forward to being back with you tomorrow.